Hi guys, so I'm going to be talking about Food Evolution, which is the film that we watched for this lab. Let's just get started. So American consumers, for the most part, from what I gathered, they are against GMOs. They think that GMOs are harmful to pretty much everyone, and they think that organic food should be the only food that is grown. And the Hawaii County Council didn't want any more GMOs or GMO species on the island. So after a bunch of discussions, they passed Bill 113, which was a ban on GMOs. And that really seemed to please the community members and please basically everyone on the island that was against GMOs. But then we found out at the end of the film that the bill was actually overturned, so GMOs are now allowed back on the island, which I thought was kind of weird because they passed the bill and then they overturned it, and so now it's just like they're like back where they started. But I don't really know how bills and stuff work. So the anti-GMO groups and advocates. The two main advocates that stood out to me were Zen Honeycutt and Andrew Kimbrell. So Zen Honeycutt's main thing was how GMOs affect children and health risks that are associated with GMOs. And she is part of Moms Across America, which is an organization that raises awareness about GMOs and the negative things that they believe are true. And her main focus, like I said, is children and how she can stop GMOs from being used and sold in stores. And something that I kind of thought was crazy is how she kind of got in a little heated argument with another lady. I think she was with the group March Against Myths. I'm not 100% sure, but I think she was. And they kind of got in a little argument about GMOs on the street during a little protest. So I thought that was just interesting because I think it's cool that she is always gonna like stand up for what she believes in, but I just thought it was interesting how it was just like on the street in the middle of a protest. Anyway, so then Andrew Kimbrell said that there are good apps associated with GMOs and that these apps can be beneficial. And I was kind of confused during this part of the film. It was after the debate about GMOs, and I was just kind of, because he is like against GMOs, and so I thought it was weird how he said that there are some GMOs that are good, because I feel like when someone is usually against something, they're against it as a whole, and they don't like pick and choose what they do and don't support. So I was just a little bit like confused as to why he supports some of them but not all of them, and he didn't really go into detail about it either. He just said that there are some good ones and then some that aren't good. So I was just like a little confused because I didn't really understand where he was coming from because he didn't explain it at all. And then these aren't advocates, but something that I thought was really kind of strange is the fact that activists destroyed crops that were genetically engineered. And I think that it's a little bit intense what they did because they just went into farms and tore down the plants and the trees and stuff. And I think that it was kind of just like extreme. Like I don't really understand why they did it, because even if I was against something, I don't think I would do that, because those crops are how those farmers, like, that's their job, so that's how they make money, that's how they provide for their families, that's like how they live. So I think it was a little bit extreme to go that far, but yeah. And then March Against Myths is a group that basically they want to spread like science. They want people to research and read things that are scientifically true instead of just listening to what others say and believing their opinions right off the bat. They really want people to get true facts before they say whether or not they support something. And obviously this is their one of their main things is GMOs, and so they really want people to like support science instead of like facts that aren't true and aren't proven. So then industrial scale farmers. This part of the film was kind of a little bit hectic for me to understand just because I just didn't really understand it that much. But what I gathered from it is that I think these farmers are in support of GMOs. GMOs are what they use to grow their crops, and it's what they use to grow a good abundance of them. The papaya farmers especially, I think, are in favor of them because it was said, this is the rainbow papaya in Hawaii, it was said that they were all wiped out. All of the papaya was wiped out, and then after years, it might have been 7 years, I don't really remember, so don't quote me on that, but I think it was 7 years of research, they realized that genetic engineering could bring back the papayas. So I think that the papaya farmers especially are in favor of GMOs because with them they were able to like make a lot or grow a lot of papayas and then sell them and make money, because that's like what they do. So I think GMOs are really good for them to use. And then just in general, I think farmers who use GMOs to grow their crops are obviously in favor of GMOs. So yeah. And then organic farmers are not in support of GMOs. They think that they can cause health risks and there are things that can go wrong with them. So they think everything should be grown organically and without any like supplements or anything done to the crops. I think that this is a little, like, obviously this is a big controversy because organic crops are usually more expensive, so it's hard for people to buy them because they don't make enough money to have all organic foods in their house. So I think it's just kind of hard for everybody to support organic, especially if they don't make a lot of money and they can't afford it. And then Emma, I don't know how to pronounce any other part of her name, but Emma, she helped people with the banana famine, and I think she really helped those farmers get back on their feet because the banana famine wiped out like all the bananas that anyone was growing in that area, and other like crops as well. But bananas are a big part of the like Ugandan community or population, I guess. That's what they rely on a lot, and so not having them was really hard, and not being able to grow them was really hard as well. So she was able to teach farmers preventative measures against illnesses, and then also she was able to show them how to grow bananas and crops again in order to start earning money. So then Monsanto, I forgot how to pronounce it, but they are the main agricultural biotech company that was talked about in this film. They were getting a lot of hate from people, and I think it's because it said that they use more pesticides than they have in the